I've got one that can see.
Welcome to 3NN Podcast.
Welcome everybody to 3NN Podcast. I'm Nick Tesla.
I'm Brian McFadden.
I'm Richard Collazo.
And we're here. See, I did the we're here thing again. Okay, welcome to the world's premiere podcast for open minds everywhere. The place to come if you want to really open your mind and expand your horizons, as one might say.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us. We got a hella lot of topics to touch on. Whatever happened to hella? That's what I want to ask you. If you remember, kids, it was just like a kind of a teenager
words
thing.
Come and go, man. They're like,
but you
10
don't,
seconds long.
you don't remember hella?
Yeah,
that's hella cool,
yeah,
man.
that's hella
Yeah,
I
that's
still
hella
say
cool.
it sometimes.
Yeah, once in a while.
Every now and then, pull it out of the arsenal.
I don't hear it no more. Maybe I'm not around young kids as much. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear any of the new slang like cray. I hate cray.
Yeah.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and it makes me feel like I'm just old grandpa. Like, oh, I don't like you boys and your new words. I remember back in my day, it was simple, and we had 50 words that we needed to know, 50 slang words. Now you guys change every word every week. What do I do? You know, it's just like I feel like an old man. I feel like an old man when I get upset when I see people saying cray. You see it in commercials, you see it like all over the place, and it's like, it just irks you because they're trying to inject that word and push that word. Like the generation after us is pushing that word, and it's like, no. Crazy is supposed to be a crazy word, your fun word to go to. Why are you going to take my crazy word and change it with cray? Cray sounds like, makes me think of crabs and crawfish. I don't want to think of cray. I don't want to say cray. What is that? Why do I need to say it twice? Why are we doubling up on things? Is this the Wrigley's Double Mint Twins or whatever? You know what I'm saying? No. So what's going on? Why do we need to double up the words? Are we that stupid? We need to hear it twice? Like, are we becoming that stupid of a society that we need to
Idiocracy.
Hear it
It's
twice?
idiocracy.
Anyway, where am I going with shit? I have no idea. But what we're going to dive into today, or our topic of the day, is technology. Ooh, everybody loves technology. Addiction. Dun, dun, dun. Everybody hates addiction. So.
Like drugs, dude?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Shit. Nobody looks at technology as being an addiction. Anytime you see technology talked about on any form of media, 99.999999999% of the time, they are talking about technology in a bright light, in a good light. All right? And Brian is a firm believer of Skynet. Brian believes a lot of things, all right, as we'll touch on brainstorming today. But Skynet is a bad thing. And Skynet, we're getting to the technological point where Skynet could be real.
If anyone's wondering about that, to confirm, it's not called Skynet, it's called Jade 2 Artificial Intelligence Software.
Yeah, but okay, people are calling it Skynet, and it's basically kind of...
Because it basically is Skynet.
And it's like, also think about Eagle Eye, the movie Eagle Eye, that type of thing can happen. We've touched on that a few times. But I wanted to touch on technology addiction and the actual day-to-day addiction that so many people, you'll see people who are tout that they do not live an addictive lifestyle. They do not smoke cigarettes. They do not eat unhealthy foods addictively. They don't watch TV or media or anything like that.
That's me, folks.
Addictively, but they're still in some way, shape, or form addicted to technology. We all are. I'm not going to sit here. Can we all? All right, raise your hand. Who here can admit to themselves that they have not just an addiction, a severe addiction to our technological world and the technology that you surround yourself with?
I'm definitely a technology junkie.
I'm addicted to my technology.
I couldn't imagine life without it. We've had it for so long. It's a part of everyday life.
There's been parts of my life where I haven't had the technology. Like there's been not extended periods of my life, but there's been like a year or two here and there where I haven't had that technology.
Humans have always been dependent on some form of technology or another.
Well, when you're poor, though. But what I'm saying is, when you're poor, you don't. when you're poor, what? No, what I'm saying is, when you're poor, you don't have access to that technology, and you cherish life like much more. When I've been poor, I've like
but
it sucks. It really sucks. But not having that technology, you're able to connect with people. You're able to like.
What I mean by technology is not in the sense of electronic technology, just electronic technology that humans have always used. I'm also talking about tools. 'Cause tools is a form of technology.
Yes.
Anything that's human created is
True.
a form of technology. So I have a firm believer.
But can you have a tool addiction? I'm serious. Like, I guess
I mean,
can.
hey, look, listen.
When I've had
there's some hunters and gatherers periodically, throughout the, history of time, they couldn't leave with a knife.
I'm talking about now. And yeah, you're talking about tool like that's. I'd look at it as a.
But that's
weapon.
a form of technology.
Yeah,
it is a form
you could
of
have
technology.
a
I'm talking about my Sawzall.
You could be addicted to
I've
your
had a
weapon.
Sawzall, and I loved using that thing. If I could find a reason to use my Sawzall, I would use my Sawzall. When I've had an 18-volt electric
I'm
drill,
afraid now that Nick's going to go Jack the Ripper and use his Sawzall as a form of technology addiction and try to get off of the death
I might
penalty
end up
by
like-
claiming insanity.
Tim the Toolman Taylor is a very good example. Even though he's a fictional character, is a very good example of somebody with a tool addiction.
Yes.
And that is a form of technology addiction. So,
More power.
But so you can't. What I'm trying to say is because people have always used technology since the dawn of time. Even if the use of finding fire is a form of technology, I think we've always been dependent on technology.
Yes.
I think we've always had to have some sort of technology.
Yes,
in order
but
for
I
us
think
to survive.
I think we may have always stopped it when it got to the point where we were circumventing actual social interaction and actual social think about it this way. How many parents out there, and they think it's good, there's this network on TV called PBS Sprout, put their kids in front of PBS Sprout and leave them sitting there for 2 hours, and they think that that's actually building their brain. But the National Pediatric Society or whatever, or National Association of Pediatrics has said that before the age of 2, this is for children 1 to 2 years old, this network, right? But before the age of 2, a child should not watch any TV because it's detrimental to the brain development of that child. But how many parents do it and think they're doing something good for their child? You know what I'm saying? And it's that is technology addiction has creeped so far into our life.
Yeah, but how is it?
It's such an acceptance. It's like in America, our addiction to fast food is accepted.
How is it? How is the television dangerous though? What does it do? Does it damage the cells, nerve cells in the brain, or?
What it's doing is it's taking away from the social interaction and the interaction with the actual real world, physical world around you. They're seeing images on a screen that their brain is in the process of developing and growing, and is taking that information on the screen and is replacing what they should be. All right, this is hard. I can't put my head into this.
As time
replacing that
goes
information with TV information, and they're not actually developing.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
develop.
like using their hands
and
it's not that
walking around,
it's really
touching
brainwashing
also,
them, but it's taking them away from reality.
And then you have the flicker rate issue that's been declassified. They use the flicker rate in the TV to kind of make you zone into what you're seeing.
And that was with older TVs.
That was declassified in the 70s.
I haven't seen, you know how they say, well, there's the technology that's out there is 30 years ahead of what's currently available for the public to use, right?
DARPA says 50.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy what kind of technology they have. What were we just talking about?
We're talking about the flicker rates on old TVs.
Yeah.
It can mess up your brain.
The TVs we have now.
They can put subliminal messages with that.
The 4K TVs we have now. I have some 4K videos on my channel. So go check them out somewhere out there. Just check out lawn mowing bird 4K. It's a pretty cool video. But with 4K TVs out there, okay, what kind of technology could be behind that? Because when you also find out, if you watch a video called, I believe it's called Corporation Nation, you'll find out that it's a documentary. It's 2 or 3 hours long.
3 hours and 16 minutes.
But you find out that the government actually has controlling interest and ownership of a lot of technology companies and GE and companies like this. And when you know about that, and you consider that the NSA it's been caught, like Brian said, there's the flicker rate thing. They've been caught actually manipulating how these things are being manufactured. Okay, so and a lot of times we focus on planned obsolescence and how they program it into technology for it to die at a certain point. Well, do you think that's really, we focus on that, and that's the only problem that with their building of our technology nowadays. But the NSA has grown so powerful, and other government organizations, what about the shadow organizations or whatever, have grown so powerful. Do you think they don't have a hand in building, in the possible manufacturing of our TVs? And if that's the case, what could they be possibly doing to us? They know more. They've put all the science together. I'm not saying like, oh, it's some massive conspiracy, but watching TV, what do you see when you see most people watching TV? What do you see?
What I see them being trapped, man.
I see zombies.
Yeah, they just
I see people who are zoned out.
trapped,
I'll literally, and no offense to my girlfriend, I love her to death, but I'll be like talking to my girlfriend. This happens sometimes, not often, but I'll be talking to my girlfriend, and the TV will be on, and literally I'll be in the middle of a sentence, and I'll look up, and she's watching. She's zoned out on TV.
Yeah, but you know,
but she was paying attention to me.
But that also happens with your, like, if you look at your phone or
technology addiction. But that didn't happen 20 years ago. When people had brick cell phones, the Zach Morris Saved by the Bell phone.
Yeah.
All right. Was anybody sitting there
Classic.
staring at their phone and just looking at it and like, I want to touch button? No, it had a little digital LCD screen with little green, and it was green and black. The lit up green, the letters and numbers and shit.
You didn't
Nobody
have
sat there staring at
games
their
and
shit.
friggin'
You know what I'm
apps
saying?
and all that
and
bullshit.
If somebody was talking to you, it would be literally very rude and inconsiderate to start staring at your phone while they're talking to you, and obviously zone out on your phone and stop paying attention to that person talking to you. And it's like, what's going on with society? It's technology addiction. It's and we like to say, well, no, it's not. It's this and that. It's this and that. It's like, no, we all just don't like it. It's like a heroin addict doesn't want to admit that he has an actual addiction to heroin. He knows he has addiction to heroin, but he's not going to admit it to anybody, because then he's actually got to admit that he's probably got to get help. And that's the last thing he wants to do. He's a junkie. He wants to keep getting his fix. You know what I'm saying? That's how we are. We're like, we want our technology fixed. We're not going to sit here and admit that we have some sort of problem with technology. No, humanity as a whole might have a problem with technology, but we don't. But where's fucking change for humanity start? It starts with the individual. It starts with ourselves, with us. So we have to fucking be the examples. And sometimes it's like lead by example, and it's really sad because in this day and age, sometimes you try and lead by example, and what you're doing, especially with technology addiction, I give up on technology, it's so radical that people are like, I want nothing to do with that. This is the 21st century. We want to be in technological age and this and that. And it's like, I believe all things in moderation, but we have such a trouble not coming home. And like, think about it on a day-to-day basis. What do? Maybe not you, but I'm sure me and Brian come home from work and we sit in front of a fucking TV for a couple hours at least.
Yeah.
Right? And we're addicted. You know what I'm saying? I'm not watching cable, so I'm not addicted to TV.
Yeah,
I'm addicted to that screen.
I'm either watching RT or I'm on YouTube, Netflix, or playing Call of Duty.
I'm addicted to this laptop screen. I'm addicted to my smartphone, even though it doesn't have cellular service. It has Wi-Fi service, and I'm addicted to that thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm on all of that all the time. And the real problem is, and I know I can go a day or two without, but then I start to go like, then I feel like I either got to go caveman or go back to it, and that's where I got to try and find the middle ground. But a lot of people can't even for a day stop. Can't step away from it. Unless it's like, oh, we're going camping today. Like there's something else filling that space. They can't, if there's nothing else to fill that space, they can't create something like, okay, well, you know what, today I'm going to read a book. No, it's I come home and I need my TV time. You know what I'm saying? And me and my girlfriend get into arguments about me wanting to watch like personal development type stuff on TV and motivational videos and this and that and conspiracy stuff, and her wanting to watch regular TV and movies and play video games. And it's like they're diametrically opposite. But I'm coming to find out it's like I'm fighting for the technology when I have 150, 200 books sitting behind me that I would love to read. I tell myself every fucking day I'd love to read. So and what do I read?
No,
once a week.
I'm bad about that
reading
too.
Once a week, where I was at once a month before, I'm at once a week now, so I'm getting better. But it's like
you guys are better than me. So
I read.
I did that Friday night.
A week.
Actually, true story. This past Friday night, I'm sitting there, I'm going through my books just because a buddy who's there was curious what I had.
Media.
Exactly. But you remember 2001: A Space Odyssey and the sequel 2010?
I get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And
well,
not seeing 2010.
I found apparently they wrote a third book.
2015.
No, I found one that's like 2061 Odyssey 3. I didn't know I don't remember getting this book. I don't recall there being a third Space Odyssey.
Stanley Kubrick?
None of them were. It was written by this Clark guy.
Well, you know. No, I'm just saying.
It's the same guy that wrote the first two, yeah. So I'm like sitting there, I don't even remember this existing. I'm fucking read this. I turned the TV off, went in my bed, and started reading it.
How about the Toynbee Tiles? Has anybody ever heard of the Toynbee Tiles?
No.
Toynbee Tiles are these tiles spread across the United States. I've mentioned them before on the show, Brian. Maybe not on this show. Maybe it was on grown-up stuff back in the day. I don't know. But the Toynbee Tiles will kind of blow your mind because they're spread all over the world.
Yeah.
And they mentioned Stanley Kubrick's 2001. Here, I'll tell you what the Toynbee Tiles
They look like it would be like a Tron.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, I've seen that before. That shit.
All right, the Toynbee tile. Let's take a look at one. All right, here you go. One says Toynbee idea movie 2001, Raise Dead Planet Jupiter, L.A. tile alone. Toynbee idea in Kubrick 2001, Resurrect Dead on Planet Jupiter. House of Hades, Colossus of Rhodes, Gotham Exile in Surrealville 2 and it looks like. Like these Toynbee idea. Like there, a lot of them say Toynbee idea. But they all look very
How do you spell this?
Toynbee. Toynbee tiles. It's crazy. They're all over the world though. It's like it's not like there's just one.
Nick, hold on. I thought you were talking about those tiles that they were gonna make highways out of that look like the Tron. You ever see that?
Yo, that would be awesome.
Yeah, you look it up. That's what I thought he was talking about when he did that, but I didn't know anything about this.
Light up highways.
Yeah,
they light up as you're going, right? Yeah, I've seen that. I saw an article on it or something. All right, what do you call it? There's a couple things I wanted to touch on before we move on, I guess. I don't know if we're not moving on from the topic, but before we continue, there we go.
Do you edit a lot of this?
No, there's no editing whatsoever. I probably won't even edit you saying that right now out, you know? I edit the beginning and the end, that's about it. There's a couple things I want to say.
These things are crazy.
Considering if you watch Brainstorming this week, you'll understand where I'm coming from on this. If you don't, then you might be like, okay, he's just being stupid. But there's some stupidity to it and some sense to it as well. Get out the bong, Jesus is coming. Okay? I just wanted to tell everybody that. And this week's episode of 3 and N is being brought to you by the Zulu, Queen of the Dwarf People. All right? So,
Hail Zulu.
I have a question for you guys.
Oh, hail Zulu.
Is it okay to be addicted to something that's good for you? Okay, I often think about my addiction to that screen over there, okay? And I think about my motivational videos, and I think about my TEDx talks, my seminars that I like to watch. A lot of things. I'll watch a 3-hour Tony Robbins seminar, but it's like live, him and like on stage talking and stuff, and it's like that, and I'll listen to a lot of books on tape. I love books on tape on like YouTube that are transcribed or put onto YouTube that you can watch. And my girlfriend hates it because there's nothing on the screen. Look at my screen right now. That's what it is. And it's just the sound playing, somebody talking, reading a book. And she hates it. But I love it. And I know it's an addiction, but it's good for me. I'm building. Like, I'm the type of person where I have trouble sitting down and reading that book. I will read a book, and I can. But sometimes I have trouble and I'll zone out while I'm reading this and that. When I'm hearing book on tape, I can really concentrate and like absorb it and concentrate on what's being said and I'm thinking about what's being said instead of reading it and trying to understand what was really being said or how I should be taking that. Like when I listen to book on tape, but it feels good. Basically what I'm saying is it feels like I'm doing something good for myself. I'm not wasting away my time or anything like that. I'm actually building for myself and building myself. Personal development, that's a good thing, right? So, but I'm still sitting in front of that screen. I'm still sitting there zoning out, listening to that.
I still think it's equally as bad, honestly.
It could be. But when it comes to other things, when it comes to healthy eating, is too much healthy eating.
Yeah, what about like vegetarians and vegans?
That's an addiction.
Like hardcore vegans.
You know what I'm saying?
Vegetarian and veganism isn't addiction.
Okay,
I'm a vegan myself.
All right, on a different note, kind of on the same note, but on a different note, if you're addicted to carrots, okay, carrots are good for you. They're great for your eyes. But if you're addicted to them, what happens?
Technically, they're not great for your eyes.
They're good for your eyes, and if you take them, if you eat them in moderation.
They're not good for your eyes.
No, I'll have to look into that. I thought they were. What do you call it? But if you eat a lot of carrots, all right, so that's just kind of maybe carrots is a bad example, but what I was saying is you eat a lot of carrots, what happens? Turns your skin a little bit orange. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you eat a lot of apples, You might be taking in too much, or apple juice. There you go. I think it's apple juice.
Apple juice.
And the arsenic. It's the apples because the arsenic. In what do you call it?
It's higher
in the seeds.
The seeds.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you eat like 10 apples, 20 apples.
Nah, I mean you're not gonna get sick, but I mean you'll get maybe if you eat 20 apples.
Yeah, you can die.
You're gonna get sick from filling your stomach up with apples.
Well, filling your stomach with apples.
That's a lot of apples.
It's a lot of goddamn apples.
I mean,
you can get. Like if you did just extracted the seeds, you ate all the seeds, you would get a little.
Perfect example: marathon runners. Okay, you start jogging because all right, you're 30 pounds overweight. You're like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna start working out every day. I'm gonna jog for an hour every day. So you go jogging, you lose your 30 pounds. You're like, all right, this is great, but I really like doing this. You know what? I'm going to run for 3 hours every day or 2 hours every day. And all of a sudden it goes to 3 hours and it's like, what am I doing? Why don't I just run a marathon? You know what? I'm taking care of myself. I feel great. I'm eating better, blah, 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 right? And then all of a sudden they're training for a marathon. Then they run the marathon. They're like, you know what? I want to do a triathlon now. So they train for the triathlon. Then they do the triathlon. And the whole entire time they don't realize as they're going further and further and further, pushing their body further and further and further, they're going further and further away from actual optimal health for their body, and they're pushing their body to a point where their body is actually not healthy. Most marathon runners think that they're actually they're probably deep down in their heart because they fucking feel it in their body, know that they're really not healthy, but think that they're doing a healthy thing because they're active. But when you're too active, it's not good for your body. Your body's burning way too much calories, way too much things, and you know what I'm saying? You have to keep it going.
That's why I said I think they're both equally as bad. You know, like you could be addicted to. Are we talking about addiction now?
We're talking about being addicted to something good.
Something, yeah.
Because the only time
what is your
really mentioned is it's an addiction to something
still,
bad.
To me, it'd be equally as bad, man. It would be equally as bad. Addiction's addiction.
Oh, no, hold on. But what?
Now, where on that board would steroids fall in if it was like someone who needed to bulk up for a certain
If you're
whatever?
addicted to steroids, you're addicted to a drug that manipulates and changes your body chemistry. And I don't know. But then again, so is marijuana. You know?
I mean, there's times doctors will prescribe it.
Marijuana, but
doctors will prescribe things for you that you become addicted to, but they prescribed them at the time because they were going to be good for you.
You can become addicted to a bag of chips. What do they say? Once you pop, you can't stop. Come on, you know.
We've all met people addicted to McDonald's.
Oh yeah,
I'm addicted to McDonald's at this current moment. I have a problem with McDonald's. You know what?
Enjoy those French fries with 13 fucking ingredients.
But you know what? I'm getting meat, dude. I'm getting
or 19 ingredients. Why do you need 19 ingredients to make a French fry? Somebody, please explain that to me.
This is going a little off track, but which is worse, all right? Eating processed food from the dollar store every night, okay? And you're eating either ramen noodles, a microwave sandwich, a microwave frozen meal, TV dinner, right? Or frozen processed food that has been processed and is not just natural, either fruits, vegetables, nuts, berries, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I guess berries are fruit. But anyway, maybe they're not. Maybe they're a different classification or genus nomum or whatever. What was I saying?
I don't fucking know.
Bitch, that hurt.
Okay.
Hit the corner of this motherfucker.
I don't even know. Addiction, man. Addiction is a crazy thing. You can be addicted to a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? But there's good things. So, and you know what I was going to say before? Can't you be addicted? Is my hair fucked up or some shit?
I don't know.
You just having fun. All right. No, but hold on. Is it a bad thing? You say, is it a bad thing to be addicted to anything?
Yeah.
Yes?
It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing to be addicted to anything.
I just had a video
because
about all things in moderation, so I kind of agree, but not
dude, like,
fully.
if you drink, if you drink way too much water, you can drown yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if there's people who are just, you can be addicted to anything, and it's bad for you. Addiction's addiction.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, but what about being addicted to helping others? Literally,
it all depends on a certain. I mean,
not to the extent.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, if you go, let's say you go to some third world country and you have the addiction of just helping the people over there, and then a militia comes out of nowhere and you get killed.
Yeah.
That's a bad addiction leading to death. You know what I mean? That's a good addiction that could possibly lead it to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even helping people.
Yeah,
I think everything has to be in moderation, man.
Okay, what if you have an addiction to smiling at everybody?
Well, then you'll get parents getting creeped out when you smile at their kids, and
how's that creepy? Are we?
Because we are in that society. That is where we are at in society now.
You can smile.
You know what? Everybody, tune into brainstorming next because I think everything's just gonna get wiped the fuck out. If that's the case, and we can't even smile at each other,
well, this is
getting wiped out soon because
we're talking about technology.
World.
You know what?
No soul wants to be born into that, and the soul.
Sneak preview of this week's brainstorming, real quick. We're on technology addiction. Part of our technology addiction as a society is we keep wanting better, more, faster, bigger. Yeah. CERN. Look what CERN is trying to do with their super collider.
Yeah, but I don't see what CERN says they're trying to do. There's nothing nefarious about it, really.
Yeah,
whatsoever. There's concerns. There's definitely concerns in the scientific community.
One little mistake could destroy the planet.
No,
see, that's
like how?
That's what, because what they're saying is
this thing is the size of an entire city.
Totally. So if we're banging together particles that make up the fabric of reality to get these dark matter particles, we don't even know what dark matter can really do. And if we lose containment of dark matter, it touches the planet and it can literally wipe out the entire planet.
No.
Dark matter touching.
Dark matter is going through everything right now. I think you're talking about black holes.
I'm talking about containing dark matter.
Dark matter cannot be contained because
they have dark matter contained at CERN.
You can't.
They have particles of dark matter contained at CERN.
You cannot contain dark matter because dark matter it doesn't interact with anything. It doesn't interact with light. It doesn't interact with materials. It doesn't interact with anything.
I think
not even interacting with space. Dark matter does not interact with anything. Dark matter is.
Well, even that aside, the whole facility for their super collider is the entire city. It's underground. It's an entire freaking city with what is it, like a 1.5 mile diameter on the circle.
It's a lot bigger.
You're talking about maybe dark matter being detected.
I mean, what if there's something goes wrong with power or something's fucked up? There's an explosion. That whole city goes up. That could potentially destroy the planet with the type of stuff they have in that facility.
Well, no.
That could create a rather powerful bang. We don't know what it could do.
Look,
because of our own addiction to seeing how far we can push things.
What they're doing at CERN is they're just testing the particles, man, to see how far pretty much the quantum works. You know what I mean? And they're not doing anything. I mean, yeah, they might be creating mini black holes, but in reality, they're looking for.
See, but the thing is, I think the problem that a lot of people have is the problem a lot of people has is. Quantum physics has not been fully integrated into the scientific world. And I know CERN, I'm sure, integrates a lot of quantum physics into their work. I'm sure they do. But quantum physics has proven to us that we don't understand on a molecular level, on a fabric of reality level, we don't understand really what we live in. How everything can be hollow and then it's made up, and you know what I'm saying? Like how inside of an atom, the what do you call it? The proton or whatever the hell it is can go from one place and disappear and appear in another place and disappear and appear in another place. Exactly, quantum entanglement. Like they don't fully understand that shit, and they're down on that level, crashing shit together, and we don't still fully understand it. And a lot of people are like, okay, you might be the smartest people on Earth, but you guys, the smartest people on Earth, may not be smart enough to really do what they're trying to do without fucking some little tiny fuck up going and all of a sudden fucking from CERN outwards, the whole entire planet is just being like sucked into this black hole that is starting. But how do we know? How do we know?
We don't know because we don't understand it yet.
We don't even understand how to get out of the Van Allen belt. How to really get past the Van Allen belt.
So you're saying to me that is a strong possibility that if something happens bad at CERN,
that's what makes me believe
it's going to destroy the world.
Anything is possible.
People who work there have actually said that.
You know why? Because the black holes that they do make at CERN,
I'm not talking about
they're microscopic.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
so like a black hole will evaporate.
I'm talking about them going at it like they have all the knowledge. And 100 years from now, we could have scientists be back like the CERN people didn't have all the knowledge. The CERN people are fucking idiots. Like they really thought they knew what they were doing. They almost killed us all.
Listen. But that's what they're there for. They're there to
like nuclear experiments in the back.
But they're there to try to learn about what's going on. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to learn about it.
Yeah, but hold on. When we were blowing up nuclear, what do you call it? Could all be saved. That's what you have to understand.
Yeah, but that's nuclear.
The scientific community
reaction.
The scientific community does not get any kind of money or any kind of funding unless there is some chance at military application. Does not whatsoever, because governments have to fund the scientific community. Have to, because for something like that, so fund the scientific community for something that costs billions of dollars. I'm pretty sure it was the Swiss government or not the French government. What was it? Pretty sure it was the Swiss government. It's in Switzerland. CERN is in Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the Swiss government footed the bill for that, right? But as far as keeping it running and its overall operation, I guarantee you, I'm sure it's not openly talked about, but I guarantee you there's some sort of a military connection behind funding for it to figure out, yes, I'm sure what they're trying to do, they're actually trying to do. But maybe they don't fully understand what they're doing, and the military people do, and the military people are like, we're going to end up using this for war.
You're saying that CERN is now a secret.
You find these particles, you find the particle that we can fucking harness and shoot that particle at somebody, and they literally just go bloop, and they're fucking gone.
I'm not
I like that.
Now CERN went from being
a threat to blowing up the planet to a new weapon.
What I'm saying is a lot of technology, a lot of
you know what I can see coming next year? World War III, CERN versus HARP.
Well, a lot of times science is we think things are on the cutting edge of science, and we learn 50 to 100 years down the line that they were actually, those scientific breakthroughs were actually being used for nefarious purposes. There's a nefarious purpose behind it.
Listen, look,
we got electricity all over the place.
Anything that has
but there was a nefarious purpose about it. So we still have to
anything
pay
that has
for
government in it, anything that has government in it is going to have corruption, and corruption comes that's just the territory, man. But my belief is that CERN
is not going to
destroy the world.
He's talking like I am about Jade Helm. It's like everything's possible, but I really don't think. Like, I really think 15. I think a year from now we're going to be like.
They're there to study the quantum fluctuations, man, that go on.
Well, Jade Helm 15's not studying no quantum fluctuations.
And what did it say about black matter?
Huh?
Did they catch it?
No. I was watching a documentary the other day that talked about when they're crashing these things together, okay? They're trying to get, I don't think it's the Higgs boson particle. They're trying to get a number of different particles.
Well, they are trying to get the Higgs boson.
Yeah. But there's a couple other very, 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 very rare particles that if they can capture these particles, 1 gram of this shit could power a spaceship to go 10 light years or 10,000 light years.
I forget exactly what it's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
They've only been able to literally contain 1 microtrillionth of a gram or some shit. So it's they literally said it would take, I think, or 2.6 million years at the pace they're going right now to collect enough to even have a gram to send something 10,000 light years. So it's they're not even really collecting a lot of this shit. But apparently this shit's some fucking powerful shit. It's it needs to be contained.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But I don't know. This is the type of shit. I know there's some shit they have contained where if it touches fucking matter, it's like antimatter. If it touches matter, they both obliterate everything around them for miles.
Where did you hear that theory from? Because I've heard that before.
That's in if you watch documentaries on CERN, not conspiracy documentaries, actual science channel,
the actual CERN and CERN's own videos. There's a CERN has their own YouTube channel.
That's why it has to be in a air sealed chamber because
can you look that up right now? Because I know
what are you trying to find out?
What we're talking about.
What?
If the what that material is.
Okay, what circles around CERN? What circles around CERN? I
know exactly what you're talking about. I've heard that before, but I didn't think that was at CERN.
Particle accelerator to charge particles at high speeds and contain them in well-defined beams. How to protect yourself from what CERN is about to do. It's probably a conspiracy site. Let's see. Yep, Godlike Productions. You're
I'm sorry, man. I'm not buying this whole bullshit about.
Yeah. I don't know. See, my thing is anything's possible. You can be convinced of anything.
No. Listen. I'm not saying that it's not possible.
Here's what I'm saying.
I don't believe that CERN will ever destroy the Earth.
See, I try not to latch on to anything, but I do believe anything's possible. And when a crazy event happens, I don't want to be like, this isn't possible. No way. I'd like to have at least looked into all the different theories of what could happen and have a heads up and all those theories be wrong and me have a heads up to all these wrong theories instead of me not giving a shit, and I don't really believe any of these, and therefore I'm not interested in looking into any of them or even.
And then half the world blows up, and you're sitting here like, what the fuck is going on?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what kind of concerns me. That's why the Lord Shiva statue outside of CERN concerns me, because Lord Shiva is the god, the Hindu god of death and dissolution. So it's like, what are they really doing at CERN if they have that statue out front? And it's like, you can play it off as like that's just a statue. Like, really? Come on,
and,
chill out. But
have you ever
statues
seen...
are put up to be monuments and markers to honor something, and they're put in certain locations for certain reasons. You know what I'm saying? When you see a statue of like William Penn or something like that, like, where's the statue of William Penn? On top of the fucking City Hall or on top of wherever in Philly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on top of City Hall in Philly. So it's like statues are put places in important places for certain reasons. And why Shiva, the god of death and dissolution, in front of CERN? So I watch everything on CERN and I'm like, they're not doing anything wrong. I look for something they're doing wrong.
Okay, what do you guys make of the 666 logo of CERN? Have you seen CERN's logo?
See, logos, I don't like when logos are being manipulated and
This is CERN's actual logo. 666.
Could be 999 too.
It could be 999.
999. I'm Herman Cain. This is my 999 plan. All right, let's talk about Donald Trump, everybody. Donald Trump, my boy.
I can't
Donald
stand
Trump.
This guy. That guy, man.
I think it's just hilarious that he says whatever is on his mind and everybody loves it. And that's so indicative of this country and our society, because we love somebody who says whatever's on their mind, even if they're a straight up asshole or dickhead. But we hate the person that is not careful with their words, but is always giving you the truth and trying to be polite about it and trying to be articulate about it. We hate that person. I'm thinking of Ron Paul. When Ron Paul was running, like, there were plenty of people, young people, who loved Ron Paul. Plenty of old people who were like, I hate Ron Paul. What I see now is plenty of young people who are like, I love Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is a businessman and this country's like needs to be recovered. He's had bankruptcy and this and that, and old people are like, he says what he wants to say. Well, everybody says he says what he wants to say. I love that he just says whatever he wants to say. He doesn't hold back. That's what we need. And it's like, no, we don't need any of that shit.
And the only reason he can get away with doing that is the money he has.
Yeah, he has money.
Because otherwise they'd have knocked him off.
He has
already.
money and he has connections, man.
Yeah.
I'm still Vermin Supreme 2016. Right? Vermin Supreme runs for president every single time as a joke. Mandatory toothbrushes for everybody, or mandatory toothbrush or tooth decay laws, or something like that. I don't know. Free pony for everybody. Vermin Supreme's the man, all right? And that's what we need to realize.
I'll vote for Vermin Supreme.
I don't really want a society where everybody's riding around on ponies. What I want is everybody to wake up and realize that the two-party paradigm that we currently reside in, and we have resided in for over 60 or 70 or 80 years now, for a long time, this two-party paradigm is screwing us over. They're two sides of the same coin, and we all play like they're not, and we act like we don't have other options, and independents are idiots, and this and that, and it's like, that's not what this country was supposed to be.
It almost feels like society's addicted to the system that we've come accustomed to. We're afraid of change. We're addicted
We're handed a gold platter and a silver platter, a platinum platter, and they say, all right, here's your Democrats and here's your Republicans, and okay, here you go. It's all set up for you, and here you go. This is what this person believes, and this is what this person believes, and we're Fox News, so you shouldn't believe this, or we're MSNBC, so you shouldn't believe this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, they're just handed everything on a platter, and they don't really have to think about it. And when they actually watch a real political show, the way that they're talking, they try and get all like financial and this and that, and they try and make it confusing. So when there's no political show like this where people will just openly talk about politics and explain them, because they're really not that confusing. Young people are kind of confused by politics, so they want it handed to them on a silver platter, because other than that, that's like doing homework. You got to do homework to figure out what politics is and how it works and this and that, and they're like, I don't want to do that. I want to go to the bar. What the fuck is this? I work. I want to come home, watch TV, go to the bar. I want to live life. I want to enjoy life. Like, I hear people say, I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy life for today. And it's like, I understand enjoying life for today, but it's like, I don't understand how you can not enjoy any kind, like not ever enjoy advancing yourself or like learning and gaining knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It feels so awesome. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how people don't want to. And it comes back to addiction to technology. What happens when technology gets better? What happens? We get stupider. No, but we get stupider. We're gonna get so no. By the time we can merge with technology, technology is gonna be too advanced for us to fucking merge with it. We're gonna be too stupid for it to really have any kind of effect. It's just gonna bring us back to this point where we're at right now of being semi-intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say we were semi-intelligent. Man.
We are semi-intelligent. When it comes down to it, like, we have to admit, like, as a human race, we're not the smartest thing in the universe. We think we are.
Oh, not the universe, but we're not.
In the grand scope of things.
We're not semi-intelligent.
Well, no, but we're getting stupid. What I'm saying is, we have Wikipedia in our pocket. Everybody has Wikipedia in their pocket now, right? So you have all that information available to you. Who uses Wikipedia anymore?
Not too many people.
Hold on, who's using Wikipedia every day and gaining all that knowledge? You know what they're using that phone for? Communication, games, you know what I'm saying? Nonsense, entertainment, you know? Maybe reading some news stories, but other than that.
I can't count how many times a day my phone vibrates and I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's a message from somebody, and I look and it's a friggin' Facebook game invite from somebody.
Oh, that fucking thing sucks.
Come play Candy Crush Saga. Come play Farmville.
That's what's
Come on, man.
As we technologically advance, and then all of a sudden, pretty soon, we're going to have hologram and 3D games. We're going to have the Oculus Rift. But shortly after, I'd say not even 10 years after Oculus Rift comes out and is available mass market, I think within 10 years we'll have hologram games where you don't need the Oculus Rift anymore.
I was just reading.
And
just
you're
watching.
Walking on a platform that's kind of like a treadmill, 360 treadmill, but all around you is a projected hologram that you can interact with, you can touch, it changes, you know, it's all being
How far do you think that will advance? Have you seen the movie Gamer? You basically you can do it from your bedroom apparently in this movie. You control an actual human being who was a prisoner, like they have the implant. You literally control real humans in a live combat scenario.
That's
well,
scary,
that
man.
just brings us ending around again to one main crazy thing. How do you know, and how do I know that that's not what's going on right now? How do I know that you two ain't even fucking real? My girlfriend ain't real. All this shit. I plugged into a fucking game where when I plug it in, I live a life, because in my real life, in my real human life or whatever, people live 600 years. It's fucking 300 years in the future. But you can actually...
For more on this, see our 3NN episode on simulation theory.
Well, you can actually plug in, like the Matrix... And we're all living 300, 400-year lives. Well, you can plug into the Matrix, and in a 2-day span, in a 48-hour span, where you eat enough so you don't die of starvation or whatever. But in 2 days, if you eat, go to the buffet and you fill yourself up, you'll be good for 2 days. You'll be starving when you're done, but you'll be good for 2 days, right? You plug yourself into this thing, and in that 2-day span, you live an entire life in 2015, in 2000. Or, you know what I'm saying, whenever you want to be born. I was born in 1985, so I plugged in and I said, 1985. How about Midsummer, 1985? It was the summer of 85. What was it? There's that one song, right? There was a song.
Summer of 69.
No, not Summer of 69. It was the summer of 1985. 1985. No, it wasn't that song.
He's talking about that Prince shit?
No,
I don't know what the hell we talking about.
1985. you motherfuckers gonna look at it. Anyway, I plugged in and I came up and I said, I want to go to 1985, and I programmed in my general circumstances of, all right, there's this guy and there's this couple that I want to be their kid. You know what I'm saying? They have sex all the time, unprotected. Blah, it's like a little flags over top of them, and you just grab that flag, and next thing you know, your fucking soul goes, or your fucking consciousness goes, and all of a sudden it literally feels like you're asleep for a while, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're inside this womb, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? You're coming out, and you start this adventure. But from that point forward, that whole experience of coming out of a vagina as a fucking child, and fucking being connected to that fucking body and this and that, and you're in a body that is not your own, a little baby body that's all tiny and this and that, right? All right, that whole experience literally just wipes your memory from before. Not like how it would in a dream. In a dream, you don't remember. A lot of dreams, you don't remember. Your whole memory recall is not always available in a dream. Well, just like this, your memory recall is gone. You have Alzheimer's for the moment, and you come in, or amnesia, sorry, not Alzheimer's.
So you're talking about,
you come in with amnesia.
So you talk about beings with very high level of intelligence creating us.
I'm talking about us in the future, 300 years in the future.
So,
and you're able to come back and live somebody else's
like a
life.
technology.
But this isn't even really somebody else's life. This is all
This is
computer
simulation.
programs. So I'm plugged
Simulation.
in, you two ain't even real. Or Brian's plugged in and we ain't even real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's actually plugged in. If somebody were to walk up behind him right now and shoot him in the back of the head 18 times, that would be real fucked up. And I'd feel really bad. And I'd like, it ain't happening at my house. I promise you that. But, what do you call it? It ain't happening, period, if I can help it. Sorry.
Okay,
But,
good shit. Glad to hear.
If somebody were to do that, what would happen, Brian? And that's why sometimes I feel like you should never take life too serious because we're not sure if this could even be the truth. But if you were to die, you would literally be like, and it would like you'd wake up and you'd have the thing like exiting out of you, or you'd still be connected to the thing, but like you'd have to take it out because game over. You know what I'm saying? You could plug back in, but you got to reprogram up a new game and a new timeline and all that. But that's what we're living.
So what would happen if the what do you think would happen if that body dies?
And that's where it's like, if that's the truth, what do you mean?
Like if this simulation dies.
Oh no! You know how sometimes people just drop dead and they're completely healthy, or like sometimes crazy shit will happen to people, and like we think it's
They lagged out of the server.
No. We think it's their soul. No. A lot of times we think somebody's soul is ready to go or this or that. It's really your soul is actually your subconscious of your real body. Your subconscious of your real brain. This brain we have here is actually a part of the program, and we're working with this brain and this and that, you know what I'm saying? But the soul, the part that we don't know exactly where it sits inside the body, like they say it's the pineal gland, but we don't know exactly what the soul is. It's kind of airy-fairy, but there's something that brings consciousness to the body and brings experience, and we feel like there's a soul, and there's been a lot of experience of souls, right? Consciousness. So when somebody says, oh yeah, I'm going home, or I saw the light and I saw my whole family there. No, that was your family watching you play the fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, come on, church, we gotta go to church. What the fuck's wrong with you? And you're like in your game, but you had like some near-death experience because somebody kicked your fucking machine, and all of a sudden your whole sense of reality got fucked up, and you had like a stroke or a heart attack or some shit, and all of a sudden you see your family all around you and this and that, and it's like, holy shit, that's not my fucking family. That's a whole bunch of people I don't know, but I do know them. I feel like I know them. I feel like that's my family, because that's your fucking subconscious saying, yeah, look, you're looking at all these people, but yeah, let's go back into the fucking game. Fuck church. I'm going to church this Sunday. We're playing this game. It takes 48 hours, and I only have till Monday morning before I have to go back to work. So, and I started this I took Friday off, started Friday morning, and here it is fucking Sunday morning, and they're trying to fuck up the end of my game. That's fucked up. But even though, if that was the case, I'd be like 90 years old, and it would be like the end of my game, and I just had a heart attack. That's why people have heart attacks and all that kind of shit later on in life, because people get pissed off at them for playing the game for so long because it takes 2 days, and it's like, yeah, they fucking start fucking with them and pushing them and poking them and this and that, and it's like some of that shit has effects in the game. So it's like somebody fucks with you or somebody smacks you across the face while you're doing that shit, all of a sudden you just got hit by a Mack truck as you were walking across this fucking street. You got hit by a bus. You might still be alive, but you're fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Because they just smacked the shit out of you, and that fucking, that program, computer program responded because your body got fucked up. So it's got to fucking, your brain is like, okay, well, I'll have to display something to get you fucked up, and so you feel it too, motherfucker. Because that's your subconscious, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And your soul, and that's like how we create reality. How do they always say? We create reality. Your fucking, your brain actually, and hold on, everything, this right here, the colors on all of this right here, hold on, these inks right here, hold on, what happened? They all started, not in my brain, in somebody's brain. Everything started in somebody's brain. All started as an idea. Every single thing. Garfield, I love Garfield. That started as an idea in somebody's brain. All of this shit was created by the human consciousness.
Yeah.
I don't know, some powerful shit. Powerful Joe Rogan.
Wow.
Huh? Oh yeah, shout out. Not shout out. Fuck that. I don't do shout outs.
Yo.
This isn't the radio. I just want to say what's up to Death Squad. I'm hoping that we can be a part of the Death Squad network. That's Joe Rogan's podcast, Duncan Trussell's Family Hour. There's a few good podcasts on that network, and I'd like to be a part of it.
Yo, I am high as shit right now.
Yeah? Yeah? That's good. That's good. That's where you need to be.
Yo, I think that's the reason why I didn't say nothing this whole shit.
Yeah, you said a lot of stuff, yeah. That's awesome.
Yo, hold on. Tell me, we're not off the air yet, are we?
No.
Nah.
All right.
All right, hold on.
I
I got some more
fuck
stuff
right
to
now.
touch on real quick, right? We don't think about our brains like our other organs. We do not barely at all watch what comes into the brain's main sensory inputs. Okay? What we put into our ears, we're not really conscious. We don't think about what we're putting into our ears. We think about whether we enjoy it or it's entertaining to us or it makes us comfortable or if it sounds like nails on a chalkboard. But we don't think about the content of what's going into our body, how we think about the food. We think about our food, that content, what's going into our mouths, as important. You know what I'm saying? We don't let just any old chick fucking make out with us. Well, depending. You could be a slut, man slut, looking at
Yeah, that was me.
But we are careful what we intake into our mouths. But we're not really too careful about what we intake into our eyes. Like, not too many people are interested in watching. Actually, a lot of people are interested in watching Faces of Death and movies like Saw and shit like that.
Oh yeah,
But
man.
why are people not? It's like fast food and junk food. Like, of course, I want to eat junk food all day long. I'd love to eat 3 quarter-pounders with cheese every day for dinner and for lunch. 3 quarter-pounders with cheese at each sitting.
Man,
I'd love
nasty,
to eat.
bro.
No, it's not nasty. No, it's not. Or even a Burger King Whopper, like a double Whopper, extra mayonnaise. I would love
make me throw up,
to do
man.
that. You know what I'm saying? But that's like fucking having a porn addiction, where you're just constantly like. You're taking your brain somewhere it doesn't need to go. Just like when you're on fast food, you have fast food addiction. You're taking your body somewhere it doesn't need to go.
Are we back on addiction
You're
now?
going over excessive. We've rolled it back into addiction.
We
We're
can do
almost
that.
done.
I was like, hold on a second, man.
I also said this. Did our souls really come here to zone out on TV or video games or looking at your phone 80% of each day? No. I don't think our souls came here to do that. But we do it. Why do we do it? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. There's disease. It's in the last 100 years, 150 years. Certain diseases have popped up, and there's been rampant cases of certain diseases, right? Cancer is a big problem now. And then 100 years ago, cancer was around, but it wasn't an epidemic. It wasn't a problem, okay? What's changed? Technology has grown and advanced. We've become much more sedentary, haven't we? But not only sedentary, we've gotten to the habit of intaking nothing but entertainment.
This brings me back to
okay, well, let's intake nothing but what tastes good too. It's like
Nick,
sugar. Everybody's addiction to sugar.
This brings me back to what we first
I can't
started
drink
talking
water.
about.
It doesn't have flavor.
You were like, you said technology. We've always been dependent on technology.
Ew. Trying to use technology.
We've always been on it, so I don't see it being a bad thing. Are you talking
In the
about
past 100, 150 years, we've gone to a whole new level. Yes, electronic technology has taken us to a whole new level.
Yeah,
and what we don't understand about electronic technology, if you watch a movie called Resonance or a documentary called Resonance, Beings of Frequency, okay? If you look up this documentary, it will tell you about the electrical field that the heart gives off. And you can look into Greg Braden. Greg Braden talks about it as well. The electrical field that the heart gives off and the human body gives off and the human cells give off, okay? And the human DNA gives off radiation, believe it or not. What? And the human cell gives off light. Whoa, what?
Yeah.
All right, so hold on. All this
light.
technology. Have you ever been sitting there looking at your smartphone? I don't know. Maybe this hasn't happened to you, but it happens to me, and I got to put it down. Have you ever been sitting there using your smartphone, holding it in your hand for an hour straight? You're just playing with it, doing your stuff. You know, you can feel it heating up a little bit, but all of a sudden, you pull yourself away from the screen for a second. You move your hand, and you take the phone out of your hand, and your hand's like numb.
Yeah.
That's the radiation coming from that fucking technology. Okay, that might just be, it just may be numb. But what if it's doing other shit? What if when we're holding it up to our heads for an hour or two at a time, it's doing shit to our fucking brain?
But Nick, if you
That's what I'm talking about.
If you kept your hand like this for an hour, it's gonna make your hand stiff.
No. What I'm talking about is like I'll do like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's no matter where I fucking have it. You've never had your phone in your pocket. All right, listen. This is another example. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but it has happened to me, and it's clear as day that that's what it is. Is your phone's in your pocket, right? And you're in somewhere, like, to me, I find that it happens. I think that's the reason that it's happening. And we also don't address Wi-Fi and what Wi-Fi could be doing to the human electrical fucking
Okay,
field
go back
around
to
us.
the.
Where my phone's in my pocket, right? And it'll be in my pocket for 4 hours. I'll be sitting down and it'll be sitting in one spot on my fucking, like, in my pocket, but one spot on my leg.
Yeah.
And I pull it out of my pocket, and that one spot on my leg is completely numb. Not
Yes.
numb like,
I've never
not
done
numb
that.
like,
Yes.
oh, well, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
what
like,
phone is
oh,
that?
well, I was sitting on my hands. You know how you can sit on your fingers and they can get a little bit numb?
I've never had
Not
that.
that kind of numb. When, do you have a big phone now? A big smartphone?
No, I
is it
have
like
the
bulky?
iPhone 4.
See, I don't know if it happens with iPhones. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it does. Or maybe it's, well, only do you keep your thing looking for Wi-Fi or you just got cellular?
Nah.
See, I got mine constantly
Well,
on Wi-Fi.
I
I think it has something to do with the Wi-Fi. When it's searching for that Wi-Fi, it's heating up inside, but it's also got its radio frequency shit going. And
Yep.
that's right on my leg.
And that's the main
right on my
reason
blood
I try
cells.
not to keep my phone on me when I
How
can
about
put
chicks
it. If
who
I'm
put
in a
their cell
car,
phone
I'll
in their
pull it out and
tits?
sit it next to me or sit it in a cup holder.
Yeah, I don't.
Like even right now, I have my phone
There's
sitting here on the
chicks
table.
who
It's
put their
not
fucking
on
cell
me.
phone in their tits and have had their fucking tits removed because they got cancer in their
Yeah.
tits. Because they keep their cell phone in the tits. Anytime I see a chick who puts her cell phone in her tits, like, oh, it's just so easy. I got big tits. It makes it so easy. Like, no, what are you, insane? You're going to lose your left tit. Like, you don't want to
And
be a
nowadays,
front-titter.
the new thing the girls do when they're in the car is everything goes between their legs.
Oh,
yeah.
like,
Now you have a cell phone.
like my
Like that,
hand. All right. I want to real quick touch on the Stanford prison experiments, and it might tie into addiction. It might not. But Stanford prison experiments, where they did an experiment. They just had a movie. There's a movie that
Oh,
just
with
came out
where they took a group of students and made them civilians, and then they made the other ones.
Well, they made them prisoners and
the other
then
ones
others guards, and
yeah,
it
yeah.
got extremely real, and the guards took their authority to a whole new level. And it's like when people are given authority, crazy things can happen. And does that kind of tie into our technology? Have we been given kind of an authority, whereas 20, 30 years ago...
Got a lot of trolls.
Well, hold on, 20, 30 years ago, we didn't have knowledge like that. You can get yourself an Encyclopedia Britannica and learn a lot, you know what I'm saying? Or you could go read a lot of books, but you don't have the world of knowledge available to you. And more knowledge. You know what I hate sometimes? I'll see a video of something that, like, I thought nobody knew about, and I know nobody knows about, but I'll see a video where it's being openly talked about, and I'm like, no! Like, the knowledge is spreading. Like, I love that the knowledge is spreading, but part of me is like, no, I wanted to be the one to spread that knowledge and be like, bet you didn't know that. But now it's all of a sudden becoming common knowledge, and more stuff becomes common knowledge, and it's like...
Thank you, Internet.
We're becoming smarter in that sense, but we're becoming also stupider, whereas
before, when we were younger, think about it, when we were kids, where would you go for information? You'd grab the friggin' 24-volume encyclopedia, and you would find what
Or
you...
a
And you'd sit
dictionary.
there and you'd read
It's
that
a
shit
pretty
up,
complex
and you'd
issue.
look into it, and then you'd have to research references, and okay,
You know
well,
what's
this
funny?
book will tell me a little more. Now you just go to
I look at a
Wikipedia.
dictionary.
Brrr, there it is.
I use dictionaries. I use this like.
yeah, I have a mini dictionary somewhere around here. I don't know where it went. It's not around.
But now
there.
people don't do that. The kids nowadays don't even grow up with that. In the computer age, everything's online.
But see, that's what is the urgency about us, okay? With us and our age group and our generation, I guess you could say. And that's what irks me when I see so many people in our generation who are just like, I want to fucking go to the bar this weekend, or I want to fucking just sit at home, drink a beer, smoke a joint, watch my shows, maybe play a little video games, and go to bed. It irks me because we have to be urgent, because we are the last generation that remembers what actual life is without this technology distracting us constantly. We were distracted with technology as kids, but not constantly. It wasn't so in your face and so like, I need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even people who, look at it this way, how many of our parents refused to get smartphones for a long time and then finally cracked, and now they're just like everybody else. They're texting and they're all about their smartphone. They're all about it. My dad doesn't play games, but he has a smartphone in his hand at least 30 or 40 times a day when I see him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's constantly got it in his hand. He's constantly talking on it. He's constantly texting on it.
How many
sending
people do you
emails,
see
this and
that just live on Facebook all day? Just Facebook.
Yep.
I'm on it periodically, but when I get on, I'll be on for 15, 20 minutes.
tablets.
And to me, I feel like that's too much.
But hold on. something just seems wrong though. Doesn't something seem wrong? Because when you watch Star Trek, you see Star Trek how they got little tablets, and do you see anybody zoned out on their tablet?
No.
No. You don't see anybody zoned out on their tablet.
They go to it when they need it, and then it's...
When are we going to, as a society, step up and say, we need to focus on life a little bit more and stop being so distracted by all of this technology? Not that the technology is a bad thing. Don't demonize the technology. Control ourselves.
I think we're beyond that point now of being able to do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we're beyond that point. We're past that.
We can't control ourselves.
No. As a society,
especially the faster and faster technology gets,
the distractions are becoming too much.
It's become worse. So, yeah, there's no way that's happening.
Then we're doomed.
Then
we're doomed.
We die.
We are doomed.
We die.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is, and once again, tune in to brainstorming this week because we're doomed. Coming in September. You know what I'm saying? So.
This guy.
All right. I guess we'll get out of here. I wanted to touch on the Stanford prison experience because I felt like with that authority, that was a psychological experiment. You know what I'm saying? And it turned kind of crazy, right? But we have almost been given authority, like compare yourself to your grandfather and the access you have to so much more. You know what I'm saying? Like something. We've been giving authority in that way, and we've abused it. As a whole, as a society,
we're living a much lower standard of lives than our grandparents
I'm talking about mainly in America, also on a global scale somewhat, but mainly in America, we've abused that authority big time. You know what I'm saying? All right, I guess that'll do. Hey boys, that'll do.
See you later.
Hey guys, I said that'll do.
Nick does a great NPR voice, by the way.
Yes, so I think honestly, maybe we should wrap it up NPR style.
NPR style.
Yeah, I would like to thank everybody for joining us today. 3NN Podcast. You can find us at facebook.com/3NN Podcast. You can also find us. I say a lot when I talk in this voice. I say a lot like I'm a hockey player. If you ever heard a hockey player being interviewed, he says a lot, and he's taking a lot of shots.
Go, George.
Well, check us out, facebook.com/3NN Podcast. I'd like to thank Brian, my wonderful co-host, Rich, my wonderful co-host.
Oh man,
Nick
Tesla, guys, sorry for my lack of interaction. I am high.
Hey, no, that's okay. That's okay.
This was a very good show.
I'd like to thank the Ether for filling in the dead space.
The Ether. Thank you, Ether.
I'd like to thank everybody.
We should thank Zulu again for the sponsors.
What is it? Zulu, Queen of the Dwarf People.
Zulu, Queen of the Dwarf People.
Thank you, Zulu.
That's fucking awesome, man. Thank you. And thanks everybody out there. Thank you for fans. Hey, wanted to throw something out there before we wrap up the world's premiere podcast for Open Minds Everywhere. Thank you very much for 1 million views on the Were We Lied To channel, which is the channel that hosts this podcast.
Voice, man.
Why am I talking in what voice? This is my jazz station /NPR voice. So I'd like to thank you very much, and we're going to take it out with a little bit of Careless Whisper on saxophone by Kenny J. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night.
See y'all next week.
Yeah, you can find us all the time on the internet, on the World Wide Wonder Web.
I am high as shit.
Just don't get too addicted.
Nah. All right, kids. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Strong neck, boy.
You're gonna get hit in the balls.